Apa yang dia orang tahu? Bodoh benar. Terdampar di pasir dia orang nanti. Rezeki kami di kampung ini ikut masa. Air naik dan air turun. Ikut pasang surut air.
Ikut masa?
Ya, ikut masa, musim. Hidup pun ikut musim. Macam sungai. Ada pasang surut. Cuaca. Kadang hujan, kadang panas, kadang mendung. Macam bulan. Kadang timbul, kadang tenggelam. Hidup di kampung penuh dengan pantang larang.
Arwah Abang Ramli Hassan played the memorable character Jemat, the boatman in 42nd Pictures feature film NOTA.
Arwah Abang Ramli Hassan was from Kampong Bako, where we shot NOTA. He guided us to make our movie richer in various ways.
Without him, it would have been much harder to make our film.
How did he make his character so interesting? Which is more important, character or story?
Let's explore more about the craft of story that can be enriched by attractive characters.
Population about 5,000. Kampong Bako is a peaceful fishing village. Every day is a new day. Every day is a new chapter of our journey. The world is full of small adventures, just like these bubbles floating in the air.
A character is a metaphor of people. They are not actually real people, just as dialogues are a metaphor of our conversations. Therefore, we need to create characters and dialogues in our story. If you have more than one character in your story, you will have to give them their roles. Each character has their own role and function to make the story work.
We are all different, externally and internally. For example, some people are optimistic, but sometimes aggressive and passionate. Some people are laid back and considerate. These are different characteristics within us. As we live in a society, these different characteristics will affect our communication with others. Sometimes even create conflicts.
All of us have the desire to tell and share stories. At the same time, we are all different, with differing ideas and opinions.
Let's look at some important characters in your story. Protagonist is the main character. Antagonist is the bad guy or villain. And a mentor is someone who guides your main character.
Do you know who is the main character in your story? You might answer, of course I know. I am the creator. My story is about him or her. But be careful. Some writers struggle to write a story only because they have chosen the wrong character as the main character, even without realizing it.
The main character of a story has the strongest willpower. This means he or she has a very clear goal. For example, I need to win the competition, or I really want to marry that man. These are very clear goals.
If other characters have a stronger willpower than the main character, the audience might get confused. Who is the main character? Whose story is this? That's why you need to choose the right character to be the main character. Do you remember the journey of the main character? We learned that we can structure the journey with basic 3-act format. In Act 1, you set up main character's goal. That is what he or she really wants in the story. Then your main character starts the journey through Act 2, which is a series of conflicts. Going through these conflicts, your main character changes or transforms. This change is called character's arc.
The arc or change is very important for a story because the audience is expecting the main character to change in the end somehow. That's why the main character is usually the one who has the biggest and clearest arc compared to other sub-characters.
The main character usually has the biggest arc through the story. That's why he or she can do something different in Act 3. That is the solution of the story.
Going through a series of conflicts in Act 2, the main character draws an arc. That means he or she becomes more experienced, wiser, even stronger. At the end, the main character can do something he or she could not do before.
Once you decide who the main character is in your story, then you need to know who your sub-characters are.
A story can be crafted like the beautiful Sarawak weaving, which is woven together with many colorful strings. In the craft of story, these strings are called plots. A story can be crafted like the beautiful Sarawak weaving, which is woven together with many colorful strings. In the craft of story, these strings are called plots. Each character has their own story, their own plot.
Once you decide who the main character is, then you need to know who the sub-characters are in your story. Among the sub-characters, antagonist and mentor usually play important roles.
Antagonist is a villain or a bad guy. It is someone who is against the main character. He or she will try to distract or stop the main character from reaching his or her goal.
On the other hand, a mentor is someone who helps and guides your main character to reach his or her goal.
What makes characters interesting and attractive? Before B and Yasu started shooting NOTA, they had rehearsals with the actors. It is a process called character development.
Maaf Cik, boleh kami tahu mana jalan besar tak? Kami sesat Cik. Dari mana? Dari KL. Oh, gimana? Kami nak cerita besar.
Once you create a character, you need to develop the character to make him or her function well in the story.
Besok pagi nak pergi, kita nak pergi Bako lah.
Characters are players in the story. Each character has their own roles to play. Once you cast particular actors, you might want to develop the character with them. During the rehearsal, to develop each character, Director Yasu asked the actors to list down all the characteristics of their characters on a whiteboard.
Brave, kind, strict, etc., etc. The actors listed down many different words to describe their characters. I actually pushed them to squeeze out as many words as possible. They could be any nouns, adjectives, adverbs. Then I asked them to choose a few important words that represent their characters.
Some words were crossed out as they were similar. We spent time to select a few words very carefully. Well, what do these words tell about their characters?
Can be fictional. Yeah, it can be fictional as well. Oh, okay. Doesn't have to be facts, I think. Yeah.
Buaya banyak lah, tapi tak semestinya ramai orang mati. But he's asking, banyak ke buaya? Yalah banyak.
Banyak.
If the selected words are similar, that character is relatively one-dimensional. We call such character a stereotype. If the selected words contradict each other, that character is more complicated. We call such character a complex character.
Tapi tajam. Kalau dibuka, kalau hatinya dibuka. Cuba teka apa lagi, nanti jadikan lagi.
Through the process of character development of NOTA, they discovered something interesting. Although Arwah Abang Ramli's character, Jemat, is a sub-character, he turned out to be a complex character. Usually, it is good to have a complex character as the main character. NOTA is not about Jemat. Is it okay to have a complex character as a sub-character?
He is very gentle and kind, but very strict. She is very organized, but lazy sometimes. Complex characters are unpredictable as they are multidimensional. The audience might have a hard time to anticipate what will they do next. That's why complex characters are usually more interesting.
Manong Panso, dikikis niya yang ulo. Ikaw niya dalam makanannya. Ya Rabbi, bukan main berselera laki-lakinya makan. Lakinya memang tidak sangka sama sekali. Coba teka apa nak terjadi dengan lakinya dalam badannya. Benana disebabkan miang bulu. Lepas 6 bulan nanggung sakit, lakinya mati.
Erin and Jemat are mirror images. Jemat represents the dark side of Erin. Her hidden characteristics are exposed by Jemat. Through the journey, the audience discovers more about Erin through Jemat. That's how Jemat contributes to the story of the main character as an attractive sub-character.
Perempuan. Pandai tak? Macam miang rebung. Halus perangai rupa. Tapi tajam. Dan bisa kalau hatinya diluka.
The technique of character development is useful for all types of characters, even if your characters are not human.
That's right, B. They can be even animal, object, and animation character.
Here he is. This is our company's mascot, 42nd Sheep. Well, what words do you think represent him?
Let me think, He's a very happy character, and sometimes, very serious, and basically, he's very cheeky.
Well, I guess our mascot is a complex character, huh? We have been looking at the craft of story from a few different perspectives. A story is woven together with different plots. We also saw how a story is structured with the basic 3-act format. Now, Yasu will introduce to you another way of looking at the craft of story from the character's point of view.
We can look at the story as a debate. Actually, a story itself is a debate. At the beginning of a story, the main character should have some goal. That is what he or she really wants. For example, I want to win the competition. Now, besides the main character, you have the antagonist who might say, "No, you cannot win the competition. I will stop you." Once these two characters come with two different ideas, they start arguing and fighting. This is a debate. Once a debate starts, your story will move forward almost automatically. Then, at the end of the story, the audience will find out who is the winner as the solution.
Once you have two characters with different ideas and opinions, they naturally start fighting. This is part of human nature. As long as they keep debating, your story has the momentum to move forward. Your audience will follow your story because they want to see the result. Which character will win in the end? Now you can see the functions of the protagonist and antagonist. It's much clearer, right?
We all have the desire to tell a story. Therefore, sometimes we become a little bit greedy. I want to tell about this and this and this. But remember, the story world is a closed world, just like this piece of paper. Everything has to be within this space. A good solid story usually has one single debate from the beginning till the end.
Can the main character reach his or her goal or not? Will he win or lose? Will she live or die? As the audience keeps wondering, their attention will be on your story. One single debate has the power to sustain the audience's attention.
Come on, B. We can make the audience wonder, will Yasu win or will B win?
Wait!
This is a mosque where Ramli's character made his first appearance in NOTA.
Yes, I still remember the first day of shooting. It was so hot, and all the crews had to climb up those stairs with a lot of heavy equipment.
Cik,
Ya?
Cik, boleh tolong bantu, Cik? Sebenarnya kita ni sesat lah.
Kita dari mana?
Daripada Kuala Lumpur, Cik.
Mau pergi mana?
Kalau boleh, kita nak pergi jalan besar, Cik.
Lepas ya?
Lepas tu ke Kuching lah.
Lepas ya?
Apa?
Lepas ya.
Esok pagi, kalau boleh, kita nak pergi ke Taman Negara Bako ni.
Betul sangat kami.
Through the process of character development, Arwah Abang Ramli added richness to his dialogues. He used common Malay proverbs.
Kita sesat kami nulung habis cerita ya. Kata orang kecil tapak tangan nyeruk kami tadahkan. Boyak suka bermain di air tenang. Makan hati, cemburu. Macam retak menunggu belah. Pucuk dicinta ulang mendatang.
Abang Ramli told me after reading the script that he thought his character would convey the meaning of his dialogues more powerfully by using proverbs. I can see that he knew his character very well, as he knew how his character should speak.
That was precious contribution for the character's development.
These elements, if added to the story, is like adding spices to food. It makes the story richer.
Malaysia has rich cultures and languages from multiple races. Why not use them?
As we communicate, share stories, and care for each other in a society, the audience will care and be drawn to certain characters in a story too. Especially when they see themselves in a character. They will empathize or sympathize with the characters even more. Hey look, the character is just like me. Arwah Abang Ramli's house is still in Bako, with his memorabilia. His brother and nephew are taking care of the house, and it is run as a homestay too. Abang Ramli will live in our memories. The memorable characters he played will also stay in our minds for years to come.
We often get the question, which is more important, character or story?
Well, actually, it is the same thing. A character's decision and actions create a series of events, and these series of events structure a story.
Story and character cannot be separated into different elements.
Both elements work together to create the craft.
The craft of story, still more to explore.
See you guys in the next episode.